Hey, you! Are you still holding on to your job? How many times have I told you that you should just quit and become a good full-time housewife for my son? Oh, hello, Linda. Nice to hear from you, too. I hope you can understand where I'm coming from when I say this, but I've also told you many times that I'm not interested in quitting my job and being a housewife. I had hoped we were on the same page about this by now. And besides, it's not like Rick minds me working at all, so I really don't see the issues. If I'm being honest, I think this is an issue that should probably be decided between me and my husband. What? What are you talking about, Paige? You do know that people are calling you selfish for not quitting your job so you can take care of your little girl. What? But I don't think I'm being selfish at all. What could possibly be selfish about working hard at a job that helps provide for your family? But have you thought about the effect you working will have on little Lucy? She probably feels like her mom is ignoring her and doesn't love her. Just think how this might affect her when she gets older. Whatever ends up happening to her will be all your fault. Are you okay with that? You think my child is going to grow up to have lots of issues all because her mom had a job? I really am not seeing the connection there. I'm sorry. Everything I do, I am doing for Lucy. Her well-being is always at the front of my mind, okay? Besides, I'm still with her throughout the day, you know? But what you're doing isn't enough for her. Kids are super keen on these kinds of things and can be really sensitive to a lack of attention from parents. You need to be spending a lot more time than you think with your children, you know. I bet your poor little girl is so lonely without having you around the home to take care of her. I'm sorry, but I just really don't think a lot of what you're saying is necessarily true. Besides, it's not like Lucy is ever really left alone at any point in the day. After all, she is about to start going to preschool with lots of other kids. And when she does start preschool, then I'll be taking off work early every day to go and pick her up. And I'm telling you right now that this is still not enough for her. And your poor little girl is just too much of a sweetheart to say anything to you. Are you sure that that's really what's going on? Anyways, it's fine because Rick is always helping out around the house too. And when I can't be with Lucy, he always makes sure to spend lots of quality time with her. She always seems to be having a lot of fun when they're together. And you think that's a fair burden to put on my poor son? Don't you know how busy he is with his work? He deserves to rest when he comes home. But now you tell me that you're too lazy to be a parent to your own daughter, so you make Rick do it. Don't you know that it's the woman's job to raise the kids and manage the home? I'm really sorry, Linda, but I just don't think we share the same beliefs on that topic. Besides, I think that times have changed and that mentality is a bit outdated. If a couple can hold jobs together, then they can raise their own children together. After all, it's their child, so isn't it only natural that both parents should have a role in raising it? Well, here in my family, we still respect traditional values and don't think like that. I don't care what the rest of the world is doing. My family, my rules. Well, then again, I suppose you are just Rick's wife. It's not like we're really even family. But since you've married in, the least you can do is raise your family how I tell you to. Don't you think you might be overstepping just a little? And don't even get me started on the house. I mean, do you do anything to keep it clean? You just let clothes pile up unwashed, dishes in the sink, dust everywhere. Food left just sitting out. I mean, honestly, do you even try to keep your house clean? I thought you might try and bring up the state of the house. Last time you came over, you did so without any kind of message or heads up. Then you barged in and started inspecting every nook and cranny for things to nitpick. Anyways, that really wasn't appreciated, so please don't do that again. What could have possibly upset you over my visit? Maybe if you actually kept your home in order, then you wouldn't be upset when guests come over. I didn't tell you I was coming over because I wanted to make a point. And I had to be thorough while I was looking around. Who knows where you might have tried to hide your clutter from me? I wasn't hiding things. And even if I was, it's my house, and I think I have that right if I want. Oh, is that what you think, dear? You just didn't want me finding out what a messy person you are. I never wanted you to marry my precious little boy. He deserves a wife that can actually take care of the house like she's supposed to. Actually, Rick and I do a really good job of splitting the chores. And it is true that sometimes both him and I get a little too busy that the housework doesn't get done. But we've never once let it get to the point where it's become a serious issue. We always make sure the house is clean enough that there's never any danger to our health or anything like that. Well, I still don't think it's good enough. I can't stand going over to your filthy house. And I just know my little Ricky feels the same way. After all, I raised him and always made sure the house was spotless as he grew up. I really don't think you have to worry about that, Linda. Rick and I talk regularly, and he doesn't seem to have complaints about the way we live. Oh, my poor, sweet little boy. He must try so hard every day to control himself around you. I just wish he would divorce you already. Okay, I think I'm starting to get a little fed up with this conversation. I would appreciate if you chose your next words very carefully. I'm just so worried about my little boy. He works so hard at his job every day and even makes sure to send a little money back home to me. I've heard that you don't send money back to your parents. Is that true? It's never a bad time to stop being a bad daughter. Actually, I don't send money home to my parents because they really don't need the assistance. Besides, they both still work full-time and haven't reached retirement age yet. I know that you were able to be a stay-at-home mom the entirety of Rick's childhood. But ever since your husband died, you've needed Rick to send money to help you get by. And I'm just ever so grateful to my sweet, sweet son. I did such an amazing job raising him to be the way he is now. Of course, he isn't perfect and has made some wrong decisions in his life, too. Some small and some not so small, that is. Oh, I should have been there to guide him towards a better path. I'm sure I have no idea what you're talking about right now. Anyways, it is our house, not yours, so we will continue to do things our way. Please hold back from giving any more comments or criticism about how you think my house is run. Thank you. Excuse me. Just who do you think you're talking to, young lady? If this is how you really act, then I truly do feel sorry for my poor little boy and my granddaughter. Anyways, I'm quite busy, so I am going to go now.
Hi, honey. Did you and my mom happen to talk a little earlier today? My mom sent a message that was mostly just her complaining to me.
Yes, we did talk. She was asking me, again, if I was sure about not being a stay-at-home mom. She was just talking about how lonely she thought Lucy must be and how dirty she thinks the house is. Just the usual run-of-the-mill complaints, you know?
Ah, I see. I am so sorry you are having to deal with her like that. I've told her so many times that you and I happily split the work and manage the house together, but she's just so set in her old ways and keeps insisting that all the stuff should be handled by the wife. And then she only blames you when the chores aren't done or the house is a little messy. I've tried explaining how things really are to her all the time, but she just doesn't seem to want to really listen to what I have to say.
No, I understand. It's really okay. Your mom is just the kind of person who really tries to exert her will onto others sometimes. I mean, that's about what I hear from you as well. If I'm being honest, I kind of feel bad for you sometimes too. You're also kind of a victim in this.
Yeah, maybe just a little. I'm just sorry that all of her anger always seems to be focused on you, though. I really wish there was something I could do or say to my mom to get her to stop with all this. Lately, I just haven't even been trying to tell her the truth because she's getting to be so much. I'm so sorry I haven't done more to try and stop all of this.
Rick, I said it was okay and I meant it. I know that you have a lot on your plate and that you're doing your best. And your hard work is really paying off, too. I mean, just look at how well you did on that test last week. You're chasing certifications and always moving one step closer to your dream job.
Paige, that's so sweet of you. Thank you so much. But I really couldn't have done any of the things that I have without you by my side, always willing to help. And I know I haven't made things easy on you with all this, but I promise I'll have some good news soon. All I ask is that you hold on just a little bit longer, okay?
Of course, baby. You know I'll always be cheering you on. We're going to that barbecue restaurant for a family dinner. We're going to have so much good food. Except for you. You're only allowed to eat from the salad bar. Excuse me? What do you mean I can only eat from the salad bar? Well, you're not family, and this is a family dinner. That's why I say that you can't order anything off the menu. Only the salad bar. Maybe you can just get your fill off of all the good smells. What are you even talking about? Don't you think this is just a bit excessive? And here she goes again. The bad wife always arguing with her mother-in-law and never doing what she's told. I really can't stand you, you know that? Why don't you just go home? Okay then. Maybe I will. Good. Leave then. That's what I'm doing. Hey! You evil witch! What did you say to Rick? He is furious with me right now. Did you know even your own daughter said that she hates Grandma now? What kind of evil lies did you tell my family? Wow, did Lucy really say that to you? I guess I've been raising my kid to be a lot tougher than I thought. Honestly, I'm moved to hear that. Tell me what you told them. Tell me what you said that made my son and granddaughter so furious with me. I got so upset I had to run to the bathroom. Rick even told me that I have to change the way I talk to you. Huh, can you believe that? I would certainly hope that that's the least he said to you, Linda. I've been pissed all day because of the nonsense you were spouting at me earlier. So I talked to Rick and told him all the horrible things that you said to me. He seemed really upset with you after I finished telling him everything. You evil harpy! What lies did you fill my poor little boy's head with? What did you do to my sweet, precious Ricky? It was around the time that I was heading towards the restaurant where I thought we would all be eating together. Then suddenly, I got all those nasty messages from you that resulted in me not even showing up. Well, I explained what had happened to Rick and that I was too upset and had to go home. And I guess that was just about the time that Rick and Lucy arrived to meet you at the restaurant. So that's why it was only those two who were there when I arrived. And what is this drivel I hear about my son not working right now? You're telling me that my son and grandchild have been living off what you've been bringing home? That can't be. I don't believe it. Wow, so Rick finally told you what he's been up to, huh? Well, that was unexpected, if I'm being honest. He told me he would wait until he achieved his goal before finally spilling it all to you. What are you talking about? You talk to me straight right now or else. What are you going on about? Rick's goal. You better tell me. So, I guess this conversation didn't get very far then, huh? Did you know that Rick has always wanted to be a designer? I'm sure you must have known that about your precious little boy, no? He what? What are you even saying right now? You're telling me that that is what Rick is studying right now? Design? That's right. He went back to school to pursue his passion for design. And that's why I've been working extra hard to provide for all of my family. This has got to be some kind of joke, surely. I thought I made sure those silly dreams of his were put to rest when he was little. Well, for a long time, they really were. Do you see? You got in the way of your son doing what he really wanted to do. Now I'm working hard to give him a chance to achieve those dreams you made him give up. He's always been such an obedient son, doing whatever you told him to do. Well, I won't be doing the same. Instead, I'll support him all the way while he finds his own path. You stupid cow. Are you trying to ruin my son's future? Oh, Linda. Isn't that the exact question that I should be asking you? Always making Rick do things he didn't want to. Forcing him to apply for companies that you picked out for him. It didn't matter as long as your expectations were satisfied, right? But I had to. Because of that, he had a comfortable salary and a good job with an amazing company. But you made him leave all that behind just so he could chase some childish dream of his. Don't you realize that this will ruin him? Let me tell you something about his job, Linda. Not only was it something that he didn't pick out for himself and never wanted to do, but every day he would come home late after hours of overtime and constantly look depressed. What I'm doing for Rick, I'm doing because I want him to enjoy his life more. I want to support him the way my parents supported me starting my own business. But you have to open your eyes. This is the real world that we're living in. And let me tell you something, young lady. The real world does not give one spit about your dreams. What if Rick fails? What is your plan then? If that's what happens, then we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But no matter what happens, I'll always be working hard to provide for my family. Because that's what a good husband and wife do. We're there for each other. Well, that's all well and good for you two, but what about Lucy? Aren't you neglecting her by always working so much? I mean, just look at the state of your house. That is no way to be raising an infant child.
Actually, since I'm working as much as I am, Rick has been taking care of all the housework. Of course, I help him whenever I can, since his first priority right now is taking care of Lucy.
What kind of sick family dynamic is that? You make your husband handle the housework? That's just unnatural.
In life, there's work and housework. Since I'm handling the work, Rick is in charge of the housework. But I guess if you think about it, it's the exact opposite of the way things used to be back in your day.
And that's why it's unacceptable. I simply will not allow it to happen.
I don't really care what you think. Lucy is always so supportive of how hard her dad works. And when she grows up and has dreams and ambitions of her own, Rick and I will be there to support her in whatever she wants to do. After all, it's all thanks to the way you raised him that Rick was so miserable for so long.
What did you just say to me?
That's why he is so opposed to raising Lucy the way you raised him. Do you understand everything I'm trying to tell you right now? We are going to do things our own way and make sure our kids are raised the way we want them to be.
You think you can just go off and raise kids without grandparents? You'll regret this.
No, Linda. I think the one who will be regretting how this turns out will be you. I feel like you should know that the allowance you thought Rick was sending you this whole time was actually from my own earnings. But your own son said it's time that you were cut off. And so from today, you will no longer be receiving your checks in the mail.
Wait, what? Then how am I supposed to live? How am I supposed to buy food? I never had to work before. I was a stay-at-home mom my whole life.
And this is the result of you thinking that that was the best choice for yourself. I guess you should have thought of a backup plan in case things turned out this way. I've gotten as far as I have in life through my own strength, and that's why I will never be a housewife.
Wait, you can't do this to me. I'm your mother-in-law. I was wrong. I understand that. You don't only have to eat at the salad bar. Do you think we could meet in person and talk?
There's nothing else I want to say to you. I hope you lead a life that you can be sure you chose for yourself. I'm sure that's the only way you'll know whether your decisions were correct or not. But in my opinion, I think people who have never worked a day in their lives should learn a bit about the real world before telling others how to live. After that, Linda left the bathroom stall of the restaurant and returned to her table. She was still sat there, getting lectured to by her son, when I arrived. I took one look at Linda and told her to enjoy the salad bar before going home with my family. We left Linda there to think about her choices. Linda had a difficult time trying to find a part-time job to help sustain her new life without checks from our family. I've heard that she is barely eking by. But that's just desserts for you. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.
Jen! I've got something to tell you! I finally decided to get married! Really? You're getting married, Gabby? Why are you reacting like that? Your little sister just told you she's getting married. Shouldn't you be saying congratulations? Of course. Congratulations! I'm happy for you. But wasn't there something you always said since you were really little? That you wanted to be like those girls on TV? You know, the supermodel type girls. You wanted to sleep with many men and live that kind of lifestyle. That you never wanted to get married. I specifically remember you saying you never wanted to settle down. That's old news. I've given up on all of that. Every day so many men are hitting on me all the time. To be honest, it's getting a little boring. I'm going on so many dates and getting so many presents. Being hot is so exhausting. That's why I've chosen to put an end to it all and get married. Oh, is that it? Sorry. You wouldn't know how I feel at all, would you? Your plain face has never been popular with men. Your personality isn't much better either. You're pretty much the equivalent to a human slice of bread. I actually can't believe someone actually married you. Yeah, right. I don't understand the struggles of being hot. But regardless, I'm amazed that you're getting married, Gabby. What's your fiancé like? Oh, I thought you'd ask me that. I think you'll be surprised when you hear. I mean, as your sister, I'm naturally interested in who you're marrying. Of course I'm going to ask. Is he a friend of mine? Is that why I'm going to be surprised? But I don't really have many male friends. Jen, you don't have many friends at all, let alone good-looking ones that I'd let marry me. You're ugly and not really cool. You've got no friends. It's really a tragic life. Yes, enough making fun of me. Just answer my question already. I want to know who in the world is marrying you, Gabby. I'm marrying your husband! What are you talking about? I said I'm marrying your husband. I'm marrying Ted. I don't understand. Well, are you surprised? It's more than surprise. What's going on? Why would Ted be marrying you, Gabby? He's my husband? He's your husband, but once you get divorced, he can marry me right away. It won't matter at all that he was your husband. All right, what's going on? Explain yourself. You couldn't possibly be. Did you have an affair with my husband? Well, what do you think? I don't know. That's why I'm asking you. Anyways, will you just sign the divorce papers soon? I mean, I couldn't forgive you for getting married before me, sis. I mean, how could someone that ugly get to wear a wedding dress before me? And you married a doctor. It's unbelievable. It doesn't suit you. You should be a wretched, lonely mess, sis. I really can't believe what I'm hearing. This is a joke, right? So you decided to steal Ted from me? What sort of garbage reason is that for stealing your sister's husband? Yeah, that's right. What's your problem? He wasn't happy, so what's wrong with breaking you up? What's wrong with you? I was so pissed off to see my ugly sister getting married to a doctor. I've been with like 100 guys, and none of them were as good as Ted. But you married the man you were dating in college. And he was a doctor on top of everything. You talked about him so much. Of course I'd want to tear your relationship to shreds. What's wrong with me being happy? This is psychotic. What did I ever do to you? Seriously? Just seeing your hideous face happy is more than enough trouble for me. Wow, that's horrible. Only beautiful people like me should be allowed to be happy and smile. Hideous monstrosities such as yourself should just continue through life comfortable in their wretched existence. Gabby, do you realize how terrible what you're doing is? Besides, Ted is already head over heels for me. All I had to do was come on to him a little. He just immediately took me out for dinner. It was actually way easier than I thought. He told me that I'm so much more beautiful than you. He's madly in love with me. When I asked him if he'd like to be with me instead, he immediately said yes. Ted did that? Of course! Ted is also happy that I'm marrying Ted. He thought Ted and I would make a better couple since you started dating him. He said if it makes me happy, then it's okay. Of course, everybody just loves me way too much. As much as I hate to admit it, I believe that he'd say that to you. This is classic. Everyone taking your side and completely abandoning me. I guess there's nothing you can do, huh? If one sister is beautiful and the other one is ugly, the beautiful one will get all of the attention, huh? Yep, our parents have been like that since we were little. Yeah, I guess after you got married, he built a new house for our parents to live with you. I guess it doesn't matter so long as one of us is his husband. So that's why Ted chose you as a wife. Bingo! You're ugly, but at least you're not stupid. Well, good luck with the divorce! Hey, Ted. I've already filled out the divorce papers. Just sign your parts and bring them to the courthouse. You've already done it? Yeah, I did. There didn't seem to be any other path forward. I'll get my things together shortly. But can I stay here a while longer? I've got to rent a place now.
Oh, you don't need to worry about that. I prepared some arrangements for you.
You did? You're really well prepared, huh? You wanted me gone that quickly, huh?
Hey, that's not fair. Weren't you the one who wanted this?
I didn't want this at all.
I'll send you the address to your apartment later. Once things have settled down, I'll come by. So, will you just stay there a little while?
Hold on. What do you mean? You'll come by? Why would you come to see me after getting a divorce?
Huh? Isn't it obvious?
Obvious?
It seems you're a bit out of the loop. Let's back up a bit. Could it be that you don't know what's going on, Jen?
I really don't understand what's going on now. You're divorcing me and you're going to remarry Gabby, right? That's what Gabby told me. My parents agreed that you and Gabby should get married. So the four of you are going to live in this house while I have to leave, right?
Wait, just hold on. Pump the brakes.
Huh?
I'm sending you the apartment address now. Once you've signed the divorce papers and gathered your things, can you go there? I'll clear everything up later when I can get over there.
Clear everything up?
Look, just head over there. You just need to believe in me. I'll meet you there.
Hello! Sis, how does it feel now? Did you talk to Ted about the divorce? Yes, we did. We had quite the discussion about the divorce. I filled out the divorce papers quickly, so they're all signed. You did it! Thanks a million! My baby Ted is a savage! I didn't expect him to be so demanding to get you to sign the papers. There's nothing that can be done, though. Anybody'd want to get their hands on such a beautiful wife as soon as possible. Why, of course. You are so different from me. You're just such a beauty. You've received all of our parents' love. No boy could ever leave you alone either. Guess that's how life goes. It's a lottery, and luckily I won the jackpot. That's why your husband's already mine. I thought you'd get it once you talked to Ted. But there isn't a single person who needs you, sis. If you understand that now, quickly take the divorce papers down to the courthouse and disappear from everybody's life forever. You don't need to tell me that. They've already been brought to the courthouse. Bye-bye, Uggo. Have a nice life. I'll live happily ever after with Ted, Dad, and Mom. Yeah, I hope you have a good life as well. I woke up this morning and all of his things were gone. Oh, yeah? Why'd you react like that? We were supposed to bring our marriage forms to the courthouse today. Don't tell me you kidnapped him. Kidnapped him? Why would I do that? It's so weird that he just up and vanished. Jen, you kidnapped him, didn't you? How could you even come up with something so ridiculous? Gabby, just calm down a little. What? How could I be calm right now? You didn't want me to take your husband from you, so you abducted him. You were so hurt that he was taken from you that you kidnapped him. I can't believe it. Don't do something so stupid. Return the doctor to me. How could you suggest that I kidnapped him? Ted is with me now of his own accord. I knew it. You kidnapped him and you're lying. I'm calling the cops. First of all, I'm 5'5". There's no way I could kidnap a grown man, so give that story up. Anyways, we're out to resubmit our marriage license. We're quite busy, so talk to you later. What? Hold on. What is this sudden development? You better mean you're submitting our marriage license, not yours. Ted is marrying me. I already told you. Why would you two be submitting documents to get married when you just got divorced?
The whole thing has been a symbolic gesture.
What are you talking about?
Why would I marry you? The only wife for me is Jen.
Wait a second. Who is this? Is this Ted?
Yeah, that's right. I wasn't kidnapped or taken away. I ran away of my own accord with Jen. We won't be returning back to that house. I have no intentions of meeting with you or your parents.
Why not? We need to get married.
I always thought you guys were odd. You all just terrorized your poor sister. Your parents overlooked all of your selfish actions. As Jen's husband, it was difficult to see how you behaved towards her every day.
What do you mean, difficult? It's always been like that. It's no big deal. It's natural to torment ugly folks. Only beautiful people deserve kindness. It's normal to treat hideous wrecks like trash.
How could you think something like that about your own sister? I hoped I could improve Jen's position, even just a little. That's why I moved in with you and your parents. That's why I helped remodel the property. But your parents never changed. And then you tried to steal me away from your sister. God, it makes me sick. So that's when I decided to do this. I get us both to slip away from that house together.
Seriously?
I didn't care what I had to do. I just pretended to be seduced by your charms. Nobody would ever want to marry you.
Hold on. Then you really never intended to marry me? You said you were going to make me your wife, though.
Sorry, Gabby.
I was always his. I'm always going to be his.
Nice try, though.
OMG! What have you done to me? Don't butt in out of nowhere, you hideous wretch. Don't start getting all cocky, you disgusting freak. Just because you finally found one person who can actually stand being around you.
I'm not really being cocky.
But it doesn't really matter. We've already left. We never intend to come back. We tentatively divorced for the sake of the ruse, but we're just going to get remarried. Let Mom and Dad know. Whatever. You'll be back sooner or later. I was never serious about taking your husband from you anyway. I'm more than satisfied with just getting the house. Now I get the new house and my ugly sister gets taken far away from me. Thanks so much. Could you let Ted know that he did a wonderful job of taking out the trash?
What are you saying? You know that the house has to be paid off still, and that the loans are in our family's name, right?
Oh, I guess maybe I should say your family's name. What are you talking about?
Yeah, when the house was being rebuilt, Dad insisted that the house stayed in his name. He was just like, the house is mine, you'll just pay for it. I guess he's the real cocky one. Isn't that too bad?
You can't be serious. Is that true?
The whole loan is in Dad's name. All Ted was doing was giving Dad money, so that he could pay off the loan in his own name. Ted thought that would make Dad stop mocking me all the time. But it never did. He's regretted the situation every day since.
Wait. If the person who has been paying all the bills is gone now... OMG, does that mean we're going to have to pay for it all ourselves? We're going to have to pay off the entire mortgage?
I'm sure if you all work together, you can do it. Dad can't get away with not paying it back. I guess you'll be able to find somebody who can pay off the mortgage quickly. I mean, you're just so beautiful, right, Gabby?
There's no way I could find a person who would do that. Stop screwing with me.
I'm not screwing with you. Well, I guess the three of you are just going to have to work really hard. If the three of you work together, you should be able to do it.
I can't work hard, though. Don't you know, sis? Dad quit his job.
What?
He was like, my son-in-law is a doctor, so I can retire. He's already handed in his resignation. We definitely can't pay off a mortgage now. Besides, Mom's always been a housewife. I want to party a bunch, so I only work 3 days a week.
The three of you are really going to have to work hard, huh?
We won't be able to do it even if we work hard. Hey, you don't need to come home, but can you just pay off the mortgage? We remodeled the house just because we thought that Ted would be paying for it. Dad's going to be mad that he broke his promise.
But Ted didn't sign a contract or anything. He has no obligation to pay for any of it.
What? Do you really think you guys can get away with this?
If you thought that Ted was going to pay it this whole time, you probably shouldn't have behaved in a manner that made him feel like he needed to get the heck out of there.
What? Do you mean we should have kissed up to you two all the time? Why did we have to fawn after such a hideous creature and its husband?
I didn't need you to fawn over us. I never asked for that. But if you intend to live off of another's work, isn't it normal to at least expect a person like that to be nice to you?
Shut up! I've heard enough of this. Just leave the money and go. You can go, so just send us the money. Just enough to pay off the mortgage.
That's going to fall on Dad. It is his name on the contract, after all. Have a nice life. That's what we're going to do. After that, we left that horrible house and never looked back. We stayed in an apartment for the time being, but recently put a down payment on a house. It seems that my family couldn't pay their mortgage. Not very surprising, though, since they banked on Ted paying for all of it. So in the end, they had to let go of their newly remodeled house. After that, my jobless parents pressured my sister into getting the three of them a cheap apartment somewhere. That seems to be where they're living now. But every day my parents are badgering my sister to hurry up and marry into a rich family so they can get out of this awful situation. And whenever she does find a decent guy, my parents just bombard her with questions about his salary and if he'll let them all move in with her. It seems the relationship tends to sour after that.